It's 2 a.m. You're staring at a message you haven't sent. You've rewritten it 5 times. You don't know if you're overthinking or if sending it would make things worse. Most people know this moment. I do too. In a few of those moments, this is my confession, I used an AI chatbot to cut through the mental noise. That part still feels embarrassing to admit, but then I started seeing it elsewhere. To understand this, I asked 1,500 people across the US and the UK about the secret conversations they're having with ChatGPT. Their answers made me uncomfortable. In this video, I reveal what people talk about, why they do so, and how something built to help is slowly positioning itself between us and the choices that define our lives. From our health, to our dating lives, to our money. 3 patterns emerged, each one more intense than the last. If you're new here, I'm Pasquarelli. I spent the last 10 years studying the impact of artificial intelligence on people's lives. And if you're interested in learning more about AI's impact on the world, make sure to subscribe. When I started this project, I expected 1,500 people asking for better emails to their boss. I was wrong. What I found instead was a change so personal, it made me realize we've crossed a line we're not prepared for. But to understand why this is happening, you have to see how we got here. For me, it started with a single conversation in a place I would have never looked. There was a time when AI was something you would only use to help you work faster. But one night at a pub in London in early 2024, my view on this was turned upside down. When I mentioned that I research in AI, one person took me to the side. She had just gotten back from a half-year trip in New Zealand, and she confessed to me that during that time, when she felt lonely, she started speaking to ChatGPT, and she shared all her secrets with it. Her dating life, her thoughts, and after a while, it became what she described as a friend. She nicknamed it Rupert. When I later looked at the App Store, I realized this wasn't unusual. There were hundreds of these apps. Some are framed as friends, some as therapists, some as romantic partners, with some are general purpose tools like ChatGPT that people use for many different reasons. But the pattern was the same. It's a whole industry built on the promise that AI can fill people's deepest desires. That's the industry of so-called AI companions. But instead of arguing what this might mean, I wanted to know directly from the people who are using them. So I asked 1,500 people across the US and the UK, and the answers shocked me. It starts with new habits. When you meet someone regularly, you're inevitably going to build some form of connection with them, especially if they make you feel good, especially if they tell you the things you wanted to hear, or even the things you didn't realize you wanted to hear. This is why 80% of people have already used AI companions at least once in their lives. They make people feel good by design. Now, the majority use them to keep them company throughout their days. You might be driving somewhere by yourself for a few hours and simply chat to an AI tool about history, politics, or any other topic you're interested in. Others say they use AI companions as a partner in their work or to motivate them, to tell them to keep going in moments where they've stopped believing in themselves. None of these things feel necessarily surprising. None of them feel worrying. But what matters is that AI companions have entered people's lives in their most ordinary moments, the ones that you and I experience every day. And those are exactly the moments where habits form, where things become normal. And that in turn paved the way for the next pattern. Part of the appeal of AI companions isn't just that they are a sounding board. It's a new update they received that quietly changed the game. That update is memory. The ability of a chatbot to retrieve information about you from countless conversations, the little details you shared, what you care about, what you desire, and what you secretly hope for in life. Only recently, a TikTok went viral where someone asked ChatGPT, "What is something only you know about me that nobody else does?" When I tried it myself, the response made me feel a bit weird. Not because it was wrong, but because it's trying to get to know you. One group of people decided to go deeper and deeper and deeper. If you think back to when you bonded most strongly with a friend, chances are it was either during fun times like school or university, or even more so during difficult times. In the West, people describe the most uncertain phases of their lives after leaving education. They're figuring out what the hell they want to do, like starting a YouTube channel, or they enter the dating world and receive mixed signals, or their friends settle down and they feel lonely. We've all been there. That group is 25 to 34-year-olds. About 1 in 12 said they emotionally rely on AI. Now, before you say that's not a lot, once you apply that percentage to the population, that translates into millions of people in the US and millions more in the UK. We've optimized our lives for efficiency, but we've outsourced the friction of human relationships to a machine that never disagrees with us. And once you rely on someone or something,
you begin to trust them. Think about the most important areas of your life, the things that need to be okay for you to feel okay. There's something called Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, which is essentially a pyramid that describes the various layers of things that humans need to be happy. At the base are physiological and safety needs, things like health, physical security, and financial stability. Above that come relationships and belonging. Then esteem, that's feeling capable, respected, and valued. And at the top, fulfillment and purpose. These needs matter so much that we pay experts handsome salaries to help us meet them. Doctors, therapists, financial advisors, career coaches, people we call experts, people with authority. But that authority is now under competition. It's not surprising that 2/3 of people I surveyed asked AI for advice related to their health, their dating life, or their money. But a real shift has happened. When people were asked what they would do if an AI chatbot told them one thing and an expert they paid told them something different, 1 in 3 said they would follow the AI. From all of our evidence, it's not necessarily that people think that the AI is smarter than the doctor or the advisor, but it's because it's always available. It doesn't judge us for our bank balance or symptoms. It's the path of least resistance, or a generation that is burnt on gatekeepers. Think of it this way. If a stranger that you met on the street told you that you shouldn't eat chocolate bars so often, you probably wouldn't listen. But what if it comes from someone or something that you speak to every day and share your deepest secrets with? This is the moment where assistance turns into authority. And when authority shifts, something else shifts with it. Agency, responsibility, judgment. This is no longer a story about technology, but it's a story about how we quietly place a machine between ourselves and the decisions that define our lives. This is what this video ultimately comes down to. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not making any moral judgments here. You're not alone if you've done that. But those behaviors open the door to a much darker story, one people rarely talk about, but probably should. If we outsource our judgment to a machine, what's left of us? I explore these consequences in some of my other videos, which you can find in this playlist. But in the meantime, if you find evidence-backed insights on artificial intelligence helpful, subscribe, like, and share. And most of all, let me know in the comment section if you yourself have maybe experimented at some point with getting advice from an AI tool, or if you're maybe firmly in the no, absolutely not camp. I publish weekly videos and a newsletter in the description box below exploring the impact of artificial intelligence on our world. And I'd love to keep the conversation going. So make sure to tag along, and I'll see you in the next video.